guys, today we're going to talk about proper attachment. So I'm going to be using these little tools here to show you guys how to properly attach your eyelash to make sure that your adhesive is A1 every single time. So when it comes to attaching an eyelash extension, you want to make sure that you're attaching at 0.5 millimeters away from the actual lash line. So your lash line is going to be this area here, which is the skin, right where your natural lashes or your client's natural lashes are going to grow. Okay, so the reason that you don't want to make contact with the skin ever is because this will actually this may cause your client to develop an allergic reaction or an adverse reaction down the line. Okay, so even if it doesn't happen at that moment, it can develop the more exposure that there is to the skin from the adhesive. Okay, so in order to prevent any touching of the skin, you lash at about 0.5 millimeters from the skin. So on an actual eyelash extension, let's say for example, this would be your natural lash and this would be your extension, you would attach it somewhere about right there. Okay, so there is, as you guys can tell, somewhat of a distance. Sorry, there it is. Okay, so as a beginner, you can actually lash at 1 millimeter away from the lash line, which is a little further down, to prevent touching the skin. Sometimes it's a little harder to do that as a beginner, so 1 millimeter is okay. Okay, as you get better and you get more familiarized, you can go ahead and come in a little bit closer. Okay, so this is going to prevent future possibilities of an allergy. So the more careful you are of not making contact with the skin, the more you are protecting your client from a future reaction. So you want to protect your client because if your client were to develop an eyelash extension reaction or, an allergy, they would not be suitable candidates for eyelash extensions anymore. Well, there are different tools and tricks that people utilize. They are not recommended for us because we're not doctors. We are not supposed to be recommending, products or medicine that is out of our field of expertise. Okay, so what you can recommend is whatever products are suitable or accepted for eyelash extensions. Okay, so in order to not have an allergy, you want to make sure that you take the proper steps to prevent it on your end. If a client develops an allergic reaction, it's not always from contact to the skin, but there is a very high chance. Okay, so these are the tricks that I use to prevent allergies in my studio. Okay, so I use, first off, this thing here. This is a anti-allergy gel. So I get this on Amazon. It's like 20 bucks. I've been using it for about 2-3 years. It was recommended to me by another lash artist, and once I started using it, I buy it every time. One of these things lasts me about a month. So what this does is it sucks up the fumes from your eyelash adhesive. Okay, and what that does is that it helps prevent allergies. Okay, so what I do is I just keep this, I open it and I just keep it next to my client. It starts to kind of dry up and it just ends up drying up to nothing, and then you just get a new one. So I'm not affiliated with this brand, but I did buy it on Amazon, and it's the only one I've seen so far, so I just kind of continue to buy this one, and it's worked pretty good for me so far. Okay. Also, another trick that I do is I wash the eyelashes as soon as I'm done. Now, I don't do this with every client, but I do it with clients who let me know that they have had adverse reactions to eyelashes before. Obviously not extreme, but they felt some type of irritation or itchiness or anything like that. Sometimes it could be because, the lash line is dirty. Sometimes it could be allergies to, something else, something that has to do with, seasonal allergies rather than the actual extensions, but the actual extensions on there can further cause discomfort, okay? But it's not caused from the extensions. Number 3 is going to be your bonding, okay? So every lash artist should use a bonder. Like, it should be non-negotiable. Only because waiting 24 to 48 hours to wet your eyelash extensions is very outdated information. And if you have the products available now so that your client can be more comfortable and be able to live their life comfortably without having to worry about not wetting their eyelashes for 24 to 48 hours, you know, why wouldn't you do that? You know, it's these are pretty cheap. This one is less than 30 bucks. It's by Stacy Lash. It's the one I use. I love it. It works very, very well for me. Okay, so you have an option to buy one in a syringe like this, and you have an option to buy it in a syringe that looks like this. I don't have any right now, but it's white, not black, and it is the bonder version of this product here. Okay, so bonding is going to cure your finished product or your finished set before your client leaves. Okay, so by curing it on the spot, that's going to prevent or minimize the possibility of having an adverse reaction to cyanocrylate. I hope I said that right. I always struggle with that word, but that product itself can create an allergy on your client, okay? And sometimes the carbon black that comes in the adhesive and makes it black too, okay? So I hope that helped you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will respond as soon as I can. If you guys want to purchase any of the products that I mentioned in this video, they are from Stacy Lash. And you can use my promo code 15 from Ritz for a discount at checkout. It works on both Amazon and on the website. Okay. And that is the products I use for this video is the lash shampoo and the bonder. So thank you guys. Have a good night.